Videodrome is a 1983 film by the one and only David Cronenberg. I recently reviewed The Fly, which I thought was a borderline masterpiece. I'm not as fond of Videodrome, but stick a Betamax tape in my guts and let's talk about it. It stars James Woods as Max Wren, who buys shows for Civic TV, a small channel that deals in violent and pornographic programming.
Civic TV, the one you take to bed with you.
The TV says to a sleeping Max. It made me think of my own bedtime and how I often have Seinfeld playing at a faint volume to lull me to sleep. The parallels between the world of Videodrome and our world now 40 years later are many. It's an interesting world Cronenberg creates. It's not quite the future, it's more of an exaggerated alternate present. In the film's opening, Max's finger twitches in his sleep and the TV turns off. It's a small moment that seems coincidental, but in the first 2 minutes, we establish the inseparable link between people and their screens, a link which, for Max, starts out psychological and becomes physical. Long live the new flesh, he ultimately says, his body mutating from the effects of television. Or something like that. There are a lot of themes thrown around. The film is quite philosophical and is sometimes too heady to really enjoy. Not that I dislike heady films, quite the contrary. We can look at something like Stalker by Andrei Tarkovsky. Heady as all get out, but tighter in its thematic and aesthetic concentration. Videodrome perhaps tries to say too much. It's about desensitization, craving stimulation for its own sake, the blurred line between sex and violence, kinks and fetishes, life imitating art, revealing the inner darkness the of morality, humanity, whether or not art, the political nature of the violence on the screen, things we can't do in society to differentiate technology's effect from corporations dictating human species. It is clever that Max is having a mental breakdown, and that we don't quite know what is and isn't actually happening to him. That works nicely with the idea that what we think is real is based largely on what we see on TV, or in today's case, on our phones. Like I said, thematically it holds up. As for the rest of it, its pacing and style reminded me of Scanners, Cronenberg's previous film, and one that just kind of made me sleepy with its plotting and action. I think Videodrome needed more kinky sex, more grotesque body horror, and less Max running around trying to unravel the plot. Going back to The Fly, that to me was a perfect amalgam of story, characters, and practical effects. That film found a beautiful harmony between all of its moving parts. Videodrome, not so much. Ratings are bound to change on rewatches, but for now, I'm feeling 2.5 stars out of 5 for this one. Thanks for dropping by, and see you soon.